You have just downloaded the BBQ Central Show, which airs live every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The BBQ Central Show is brought to you by the BBQ Guru, creators of automatic pit temperature control technology. They can be found at thebbqguru.com or call them 800-288-GURU. And by the Chops Power Injector System, the 2015 Barbecue Tool of the Year at the NBBQA. Find them at barbecuekansascity.com. And by Butcher Barbecue. From injections to rubs to sauces, always trust your butcher at butcherbbq.com. And by Big Poppa Smokers, your one-stop online shop for everything and anything that has to do with barbecue. Their website is bigpoppasmokers.com. And by Cookshack pellet and electric grills. Visit them at pelletcooker.com or cookshack.com or call them 800-423-0698. And by Cookin Pellets, you can buy Cookin Pellets at cookinpellets.com. You can also visit amazon.com to purchase as well. And by Green Mountain Grills, some of the best pellet grills on the market today. You can visit them at greenmountaingrills.com.
This is Jennifer Palamas from Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is BBQ Central.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening, and welcome to the really big BBQ Central Show. This is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling, broadcasting live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It is the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evening. Hey, you want to jump in on the show tonight? More than happy to have you. It's a phone call, 216-220-0966. You can also email the show, greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening this evening. Oof. Well, if you got the newsletter, hold on. You disconnected. I did not disconnect. Well, it certainly disconnected there for me, didn't it? Weird. All right, well, we should be back on there. Let me know. Let me know if we're back on there. Hello. Am I on now? I'm not late. Negatory, good buddy. Not sure what happened there. Anywho, should be on. You can see me, right? Yeah, hey, all right. Yeah, it's me. Hey. Good morning, everybody. All right, so I don't know where you were at. However, if you want to jump in on the show tonight, 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com is the email address. And anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you didn't get the newsletter. I have no idea how this is going to go down. This was hatched a day or so ago when I was confirming with Meathead, who, and I will bring this up when we talk to him in about 13 minutes from now. When Meathead doesn't make his second Tuesday of the month appearance, and historians and fans and true Centralites of the show will know that up until very recently, Meathead never missed. He was as lock and step as they come for guests. The only one more consistent, that did not just happen. Where the hell is my phone that just did that? Son of a Boogity boop. Oh, wait. It's over here. Got to turn that off. That's going to annoy me. Dr. Barbecue might be the... I'm nay myself. I think the history of the show will dictate that and prove that Meathead has been the most tried and true recurring guest that this show has seen during its genesis. And again, up until very recently, has he been missing. And while perhaps most of you don't have the look behind the curtain of AmazingRibs.com and all that he is up to, it's some pretty major stuff to miss for this show. I mean, I wouldn't be missing what he has on tap to make sure that I make this show. Okay? One you do for fun, one you do to get yourself out there and be promoted. So once again, I don't want to talk out of school, nor would I. And rule number one of the show, no names, please. Now, of course, I'll ask him about it. However, let me say this. There are staunch Meathead advocates and supporters, fanaticals that are out there that when he misses, it is a guaranteed onslaught of 30 and 40 emails of, did you piss Meathead off? Where's Meathead? What did you do to him this time? What? No, Meathead? He's the only reason I listen to the show. So on and so forth. That's about how the email runs when Meathead doesn't show up. So obviously, and I would say it's 50-50 people are listening live to the show because once the newsletter comes out and they see that Meathead isn't slated in there, they immediately start firing back like angered war vets. And the other ones, and usually they're the most virile and vicious, the podcasters, because they have it all set in their mind that the second Tuesday of the month is Meathead, and that conversation is going to be taking place over the course of the two interview segments in the first hour, and then Wednesday or Thursday when I download the show, because it's convenient for me, I'll hear Meathead. Oh, but no, he's not there. Instead, this is what you get. Hello, Meathead? Hello, Meathead? Yeah, you get no Meathead. Screw Meathead. They are really getting after it. And it's always insistent that I have somehow done Meathead wrong, or that I have pissed him off to where he's no longer going to do the show. It's never the other way around, right? It's never, hey. Meathead could have never offended me to the point where I said, Meathead, take a hike. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it because you're going out. Oh, do I have your attention now? Good. Anyway, Meathead is going to try and do, I guess the best way to describe it is like a remote segment. He is not in the Windy City. He is at the NBBQA festival or organization or exposition that is being held, and no offense to the Crackers, but in Crackerville Central, Jacksonville, Florida. All my Florida peeps, back me up. So that's where it's being held this year. He's at some restaurant called Moxie Kitchen. I understand that there are barbecue socialites, the likes of Mike Mills and Amy Mills and so on and so forth, that might be dining in said area. I have no idea if he's going to human crowbar his way in and be like, hey, here's an unplanned interview while you're eating dinner. I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. So my thought is if we can somehow muddle through one segment, we might as well call it a victory and let one segment be enough, which leaves me in the precarious position of being open in that second segment in the second hour, or in the first hour, but I'm sure we can fill it. But that's what's happening the first hour. Second hour, 2 weeks ago, the Houston Livestock and Rodeo took place, and my guest at 10:14 won it. We'll be talking him to kind of recap that event and maybe get a little bit more insight. The more I talked with Doug Scheiding about how many teams are there versus how many entries are there, it piqued my interest because one team could have multiple entries versus one team having one space, you only get one entry. So if you can hook up with a big pocket, fat pocket, deep pocket corporation or whatever, if you're a really good cook, maybe you could say, hey, buy up 6-7 spots. We can win this because I can put in 4 or 5 chicken pieces and maybe a rib piece or whatever. So we'll talk to Ryan about that. They won it, by the way. Bulldog Mountain BBQ will be joining me at 10:14. And then at 10:35, everybody knows her as the Snake River Farms maven of barbecue. Anella Kelso will be joining me, and we're going to be talking about the Snake River Farms Challenge that they're putting on here. They have 4 events, I believe, that are cinched up right now. Perhaps they're looking to add more. Who knows? We'll find out from her. We'll talk about the Double R Ranch meats as well. And I know she was at the guinea pig competition that took place 4 weeks ago. And they sponsored the brisket category there. From a business aspect, I would love to hear what kind of a payoff it is for them because, sponsoring is basically just giving away stuff for free. But, when you sponsor stuff, aside from the goodness side of your heart, there's got to be a win somewhere. So I'm anxious to see where they view the win in doing meat sponsorship. Not necessarily to a Sterling Ball situation, but anything. Maybe they're doing other contests. So I'm anxious to see where the win is for them. Aside from just being great human beings. Nothing wrong with being a great human being, right? Yeah, that's right. Love great human beings. Speaking of great human beings, Dan Uladol is a great human being. Perhaps he is also at the NBBQA looking to go back-to-back for Barbecue Tool of the Year. They won it in 2015. It's the Chops Power Injector System. 3 awesome sizes to fit your injecting needs. First one up, the half-gallon Chops Power Injector System. It's the one that I have. It's designed for the competition person or the backyard warrior like me. So easy to use, right? Clean it, fill it, pump it, and go. If you have just one brisket or pork shoulder to do, you don't need to fill it all the way up. Just put in what you need. It will use it all. It comes with 14-gauge needles, 2 placement plastic needle adapters, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. $100 plus shipping anywhere. The 1-gallon Chops Power Injector System, designed for catering and bigger jobs. It will hold double the amount of the half-gallon. Some use it in competitions, like when you cook MBN whole hog, or maybe you're doing 10 shoulders to get that perfect one. It comes with 14-gauge needles, 2 replacement needle adapters, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. $120 plus shipping anywhere. The newest one is the Chops Full Power Injector System, the electric. It's electric, and it's a commercial and competition Big Daddy. It's not a holding tank like the other two, but a 3.5-foot pickup tube that you can put in any size container. That's right, from a few ounces to a 55-gallon drum. It was designed for Chef Rob at the best barbecue restaurant in Kansas City originally, and he said time and time again that with the Chops Full Power Injector System, his briskets are better than ever. It comes with metal needle adapters, 14-gauge needles, 3-inch 12-gauge needles, 2-inch 11.5-gauge needles, 3 plug screws, and a needle protector. $325 plus shipping anywhere. A number of the top pitmasters are using the Chops Power Injector System every day to make their barbecue better than the rest. Because we live in a foodie world now, right? Everybody's taking food shots on the Instagram, Snapchatting, food porn. You need flavor in every bite. This is how you do it and do it fast. It's not just for meat either. How about alcohol-infused watermelon or fruit or whatever? They can do that. Every injector is hand-assembled in Kansas City, Missouri. If you want extra accessories, they got them. Here's the best thing. Head on over to Barbecue Kansas City, BARBEQUE, BARBEQUE.com, and check out their products. Order one. You'll wonder how you ever injected without it. Trust me. It's that simple. Bottom line, you'll wonder how you ever did it with just one needle. And if you're out there in Jacksonville, and Dan's out there at the NBBQA, stop by and say hi. Meathead next. Who knows what's going to happen? Stick around.
Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Green Mountain Grills, manufacturers of some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today. If you're looking for a big cooker to house a lot of food, they got one for you. How about something medium-sized? They got you covered there, too. Something to take on tailgates? Yeah, they got you covered. Also, pellets to fire those cookers. Hoofa. What haven't they thought of at Green Mountain Grills? Nothing. They even got Wi-Fi controllers. You can do the whole thing from your phone. Come on. It's awesome. I love my Green Mountain Grill. You could love yours, too. Visit the website, greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com. All right, well, we're going to see how this goes. My next guest is typically seen here the second Tuesday of every month. He is the creator of the most heavily trafficked barbecue and grilling website, rivaling most porn sites, I would dare say. Let's go ahead and race over to the hotline and welcome back Meathead Goldwyn. Meathead, how are you, buddy?
Oh, Greg, how's the Cleveland Cavalier barbecue and all the Centralites?
We are doing absolutely spectacular, Meathead. I appreciate you making time here tonight. And I know this is a little bit out of our, I don't want to say line of expertise, but typically when we're doing interviews, you are locked down in the windy city of Chicago, but we're finding you on location tonight.
Yes, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida at the National BBQ Association. And I tell you what, Greg, we talked about we've got some minor technical issues here, but if you can go to the live feed, they just served dinner here. We're sitting at a restaurant called the Moxie Kitchen, and I'm with the 17th Street Barbecue restaurant people. Can you get a live picture of, I'll show you the table. There's some spectacular looking food at this restaurant.
You just got to turn on your camera portion of it. I'm ready to go.
Well, that's pretty dumb.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, camera. Where's the camera?
I'm ready to go. I have you. I have your cut locked in for the video people. By the way, we're talking with Meathead Goldwyn from AmazingRibs.com.
Here right now, so the hell with it.
I got a great idea. I'm going to call you right back. Just accept the call with the video. Hit the camera sign when I call you back.
Okay.
All right. We're off to a rousing success. Head for the hills, people. Head for the hills. Where's Steve Ray when you need him? Oofaloo. Well,
I didn't find the camera sign.
I don't understand. We had it all figured out.
Yeah. Well, it came up and it didn't have the camera sign. That's all right. Let's keep on slugging away.
All right. So, Meathead, you are you're at the NBBQA.
Yeah, it's a really nifty organization. It's not huge. Most of the members are restaurateurs, caterers, competition. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Wow. Most of them are in the business, but there's more and more consumers coming, and they have some really good seminars. I'm doing a seminar on the science of smoke and what's in smoke and how smoke is made and different kinds of smoke. There's a food scientist from Texas Tech doing a meat science segment. Steve Rakelin's going to be here, another one of your regular guests. He's doing a seminar.
On what?
It wasn't in the program. The program, or so far, I'm waiting for the final program to be handed out tomorrow, but what they published on the website didn't list his topic. So I don't know what he's going to be talking about.
Meathead, is this like at a convention center, like a truck show or a car show, kind of an atmosphere, or what?
Yeah, it's at the Hyatt Regency waterfront in Jacksonville. Lovely hotel right on the waterfront, and I don't know. I think there's 500 to 1,000 people usually show up. They rotate from city to city. It was in Nashville last year, I think, and it's been in Memphis and Austin and a bunch of other places. And it kicks off tomorrow with a bus tour of some of the better local barbecue joints, which is part of one of my favorite parts of this event, because you get to see some really nice barbecue restaurants, and you get it behind the scenes in the kitchen, meet with the pit master, And there's a lot of really talented professional chefs here. So it's a good place to pick up tricks and tips and learn. And then there's a lot of late night drinking.
Is Jacksonville known for its barbecue prowess?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this is, deep south. It's not far from the Georgia border. And, of course, Georgia's famous for barbecue. And this part of Florida, southern Florida is more a suburb of New York. This is more a suburb of Georgia, of Atlanta. So there is barbecue up here, and it's kind of Georgia style. It's Gator country, and I'm a Gator, so it's fun to be back.
Meathead Goldwyn joining me here on the show, live from the NBBQA, specifically Moxie's Kitchen, where him and some of the socialites of barbecue are hanging out and eating this evening. Meathead, so
they have an interesting menu too. I just had I got the appetizers, and they just served the entrees, so I'm missing my dinner. But the appetizers had some really good pig's ears, crispy chicken livers, a smoked trout spread.
Hold on a second. You've said something that has caught my attention, and I need to ask you. Crispy chicken liver.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Yeah.
They're breaded and fried.
Oh, okay. So probably tastes like just chicken.
No, they taste like chicken livers, but they're crunchy, and they kind of somewhere between calamari and chicken liver. They were fun. They had a really good pimento cheese toast that was really tasty. They have guanciale, which is an Italian cured pig jowl. That's really good. It's kind of bacony. It's a very creative menu, and it's one of the better places in the Jacksonville area. And they do some barbecue things here that are kind of fun.
So the NBBQA is, what are they looking to accomplish every year? Just give like a platform to industry of barbecue, or what?
There are seminars on, profitability, public relations, social media. So they do cater to the professional. But the new president is Linda Orison from the Shed in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And she's a real populist. And I've been working with her and a bunch of others. And we're really going to try and get it opened up next year. I don't know where it's going to be held next year, but we're really going to try and make it more attractive to consumers, because there's a lot of really good people here. And if you're deep into barbecue, it's a really good place to get a grad school education. So
you said you've been going down there like for the last 3 years, I believe?
Oh, no, I've been coming on and off for the last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I usually go 1 year and miss a year. Sometimes I've gone 2 in a row. I've gone about 5 or 6 of them over the past decade, and I've just learned a lot. It's a great place to hang out. So
you're giving a dissertation, more or less, during this weekend. Is this the first time you've given a class or a talk, or have you done that before there?
No, I've done several before, but this is the first time I've had what they call a plenary session, where everybody is in attendance. There's no other seminars going on, and it's a 2-hour session, 1 hour with me on the science of smoke, and 1 hour with a meat scientist from Texas Tech. And so it's sort of, egghead techie stuff. But I think everybody out there is getting the idea that if you understand what goes on when heat hits meat, you can cook better. And that's kind of the idea here, is to, help people understand more of the technical stuff.
No specifics needed to be given on your end, Meathead, but is this a pay gig for you, or is this just you're being exposed to people in the industry and promotion is better than greenbacks? No,
in fact, I pay my own airfare. I pay my own hotel. I don't think any of the speakers are paid. We just come because it's, we share with each other. We learn. It's fun. I don't think any of the speakers have ever been paid. It's camp. It's like going to summer camp or winter camp.
Meathead, for you specifically, outrageous. You should be commanding exorbitant fees to speak. I mean, your knowledge and your popularity is
I've never
far
charged
above.
speakers fees.
All right.
Never
Nevertheless.
charge speakers fees. As long as people say nice things about the website and send people there, I'm happy. And now that I have my book coming out in May, maybe we can get some folks to buy my book.
So would you say that this is a event I should think about attending at some point, or is it still not to a degree that, because to me it's value, right? If I'm going to go down, I'm probably going to want to do a show or two, or maybe make a week of how long is it? Like is it 3-4 day thing, or what?
3 days.
Yeah.
And,
So
I'm thinking aloud, Greg, but what you and I wanted to do tonight and failed technically, my fault, not yours. But I could see you setting up in the lobby and just having a line of, they're all here. All the top barbecue chefs are here. All the top restaurants and caterers and competition teams are all here, either presenting or learning. So, you could probably, I know you do live broadcasts most of the time, but you could probably tape a year's worth of content sitting down and interviewing these people, and certainly would raise the flag and get the brand out there. Yeah, it would be beneficial.
Meathead Goldwyn joining me here on the show talking about NBBQA. Meathead, there's something on the horizon, and I don't even know if because you're so busy and you're getting this book done and it's going to come out, all this other stuff. There's something laying on the horizon. Nearly 2 weeks away that I'm wondering if you remember. This could be a culminating event, Meathead. Do you do you believe that we are 2 weeks away, more or less, from sucking down that magnum of 2006 Silver Oak Cabernet Sauvignon?
March 24.
Oh, my God. Can you believe
I know
it?
the date by heart.
Barring death or dismember it, this is actually something that's going to happen.
Yeah, we've been threatening this in a long time.
7 years, maybe.
Yeah, it's a special wine. We should have a good time.
So I hate to ask this, but it's my job as host. Do you think anticipation of this event actually coming off is going to overshadow anything that actually transpires live, or do you feel the wine will really knock everything back into its place?
I think it'll be a great wine. We'll have some good meal and a good conversation, and who cares what about the rest of it?
And guess what? We're not gonna Skype it. We're not Skyping it. So just be jealous, you bastards, that me and Meathead are going to be sucking back wine. All right. So what's on the aside from your talk and Stephen Reichlin, who will probably be giving a recap perhaps next week of what he was talking about at NBBQA. Aside from Mama Shed. Who are some of the other players that we might know in NBBQA trying to further its cause and make it a little bit more visible?
Gosh, Barry Sorkin from Chicago, Smoke Barbecue is going to be on a panel. I think he's going to be doing something on marketing. I don't know if you folks out there know Barry, but he's really fine restaurateur, and I think he makes the best brisket outside of Texas and better than most in Texas. And Amy Mills is going to be doing a presentation. Of course, her father, Mike Mills, both of the 17th Street Barbecue. They're sitting a few feet away from me, and if I had my technical act together, I'd get them on here. That was the original intent, but my apologies to you and to your listeners. I just couldn't manage to do Skype video, high-quality audio, so I screwed up. I apologize. But there's a lot of good folks down here, yes.
All right. Well, I think I have a couple quick questions, and then I will let you go eat, as much as it pains me to do so.
Yeah, you're going to have to. I know that I was supposed to be on for an hour, but I don't know if I can talk for an hour about NBBQA since it hasn't started yet. Next week I might be able to. Is there anything that you're looking to specifically take away from the event? A big part of conferences like this, and all of them, is the fellowship, the hanging out, meeting, getting to know these folks. As a writer, I got sources here. Nobody knows how to cook a whole hog better than Mike Mills. And when I was Mike has won all kinds of competitions. And so has Brad Orison. Brad's going to be here. Brad is one of the few people in the world who can outdrink me. And just
You said that out loud.
just hanging out with these guys and yakking, learning from them. They come from all over the country. I know Ruben Gonzalez is here from New Mexico, and Denny Mike will be here from Maine, and
Mike, yeah.
so it's just a good chance to learn and ask questions and make connections.
Meathead Goldwyn is from AmazingRibs.com. You can, of course, find him at AmazingRibs.com. He's got a lot of great videos. Are you seeing any uptick in St. Patrick's Day stuff?
Not here yet, no. But I know that we're on my website. We've got a really good recipe for curing brisket into corned beef, and then once you've got corned beef, you can go 16 different directions. You can do, corned beef and cabbage, or you can do corned beef hash. Or my favorite thing to do with corned beef is to turn it into pastrami. And once you've got pastrami, you can make, great pastrami sandwiches, or do a pastrami Reuben, which I think is the world's greatest sandwich, period, bar none, no exceptions. And so that really gets active around this time of year on the website. A lot of people getting recipes for corned beef and pastrami, and curing meats are weird. We'll talk. Well, that's a good topic for us to take up, because curing meat is not like any other recipe. You're dealing with sodium nitrate and nitrate, and they have to be applied in just the right amounts. And a lot of barbecue cooks like to improvise and modify recipes and fiddle around. All cooks do. But you've got to stick pretty close to the recipe, at least for the nitrates and the salt. And it's really hard to get it across to barbecue cooks that don't screw around with this. You have to make sure that the meat is covered properly, that if it's a wet brine or a wet cure, that it's submerged, and that you don't do it for too few days, too many days. There's health risks. So, but that's the whole subject of charcuterie and curing meats, all kinds of issues, very different. But pastrami, which is, essentially brisket, smoked brisket, is just phenomenal. And it's really worth doing. And if you don't want to cure the meat yourself, you can get store-bought corned beef, and you soak it in water for a few hours overnight, maybe to desalinate it, or simmer it a little bit just to get a little of the salt out. Then you put the right rub on it. I've got the rub recipe on my website. And then you smoke it, and you've got pastrami. That's all there is to it. Soak the corned beef, rub it, and smoke it. And it is just fantastic.
Well, that's something that we will take place, or we will take back up perhaps next month, or depending on what's going to be rolling down the subject road. But
Sure.
I'm going to turn you loose now, and so you can get back to everybody else. Pass along my well wishes to all of the stars, and if they don't know me, fuck them. That's what I say.
And my apologies to you and the Centralites for not being able to get a live video feed of these folks, because I was hoping to get Mike and Amy and the others to say hello to the audience, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, these things happen, Meathead. It's one thing I know. It's technical issues, certainly here on this show, and
you've had your share of.
I will not cast glass stones at people made of glass, or whatever the saying goes. So, Meathead Goldwyn is at AmazingRibs.com, on the Twitter at @rib_guy. Check him out there as well.
No underscore, just Rib Guy.
All right, or just at Rib Guy. You can get him there, too. That's fine. And let him know that we appreciate him showing up every month, and we'll talk to you again next month, Meathead.
See you, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
There he is, Meathead Goldwyn. And that was as bad as I thought it was going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Hoofa. Wow. Well, to peel back the curtain, you know what? I'm not even going to peel back the curtain. I'll do that when I get back, because now I have a whole segment I didn't plan on having open. Oh, who cares? Oh, segments. How silly they are. I'll tell you what's not silly. The longest running sponsor of the show, the BBQ Guru. Boom! Located in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Folks, if you have been looking into buying an automatic pit temperature control device for your cook, why are you going to buy it from anybody else? These are the guys that created this technology. Don't look at anybody else. Look at the innovator and the creator. Not familiar with how they work? Oh, how about this? Something that allows you to set a pit temperature. And once set, keeps it running at that temperature all the way through the cook. Sound too good to be true? It's not. It's real life. You can take advantage of it today. Maybe you're a busy working professional like me, or perhaps you're constantly on the run with the kids doing errands, and quite frankly, you just don't have the time to set around and tend pit temperatures. The BBQ Guru allows you to throw on a pork butt or a brisket or a couple slabs of ribs, and then you're off to do whatever it is you need to get done, and the Guru maintains that pit temperature you set it at. There's currently a number of different models to choose from. You have CyberQ Wi-Fi if you want to control multiple cookers. If you want to have multiple internal meat temperature readings, this is the one for you. Especially if you want something that you can hook up to a smart device or a laptop or a netbook or something along these lines. You don't even have to go outside anymore to ramp your pit up in temperature. Maybe your meat is cooking too fast. You can ramp the pit temperature down. It also has a hold mode, so once you get to your target temperature, it brings that whole cooker down into like a Cambro temp type situation. So it's not going to overcook. It'll just keep it at that right temperature, keeping out of the danger zone, but not continuing to cook past your target temperature. It's great. If you're in the market for a new cooker, Onyx Oven is certainly a thing you want to look at as well. Accommodates half and full pans for meat service. Works seamlessly with any BBQ Guru pit temperature control device. Do yourself a favor. Head on over to thebbqguru.com and check out their products. If you have any questions about what to order, don't guess. Call them directly. 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. They'll make sure you're outfitted with exactly what you need to get you up and running right out of the box. Once again, 800-288-GURU. Or the website thebbqguru.com. BBQ Guru continues to be a breakthrough in barbecue technology. And oh, by the way, don't forget that they have lowered the prices on everything, on every pit temperature control device they have. Lowered. Like not for a limited time only, just forever. Change the whole marketing strategy. I'll refresh you on that in the top of the second hour. We're going to come back with a segment now. Yeah, okay.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by CookinPellets.com, your number one source for quality wood pellets for all of your meat. Oh. For all of your pellet-driven cookers. It's not going to void the warranty, so just relax. You can buy directly from the website, CookinPellets.com, or you can also go to Amazon.com and purchase as well. Whatever you want to do. If you download the CookinPellets.com app, they will alert you when Amazon is doing like their famous shipping for like almost no money blowout, or maybe free shipping if you order so much or whatever. But CookinPellets.com, you can download the app onto a phone, whatever your platform is, and then you will be alerted to that special Amazon.com pricing. And I actually hope to have Chris Becker on here sooner than later to kind of go up and go over the updates and see what's happening over at CookinPellets.com. All right. Here's Meathead.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Now, in lieu of Meathead, I have a game. Now, if you want to call in right now, you can take part in a game, and it's called I'll Make a Game Up. It's going to be a great game. I'm going to give you a word inspired by me listening to Howard Stern this morning. I'll give you a word, and you have to tell me what it means. Now, if you answer that question correctly, I will give you one each of new Dave Bosca's Butcher Barbecue products. How about that? Of course, at the top of the second hour, we're still doing the 14 to 16-pound Snake River Farms brisket giveaway. Woo. That's $160. We'll be doing Can a seventh grader say it? Let me see. Seventh grade vocabulary words. So if you think that you have a rather vast and sweeping command of the English language, call in. You have to answer 3 right. And, oh, no. I'm hoping it would give me the answers. Well, whatever. So just call in 216-220-0966. If you can answer 3, if you can tell me what 3 words mean. Actually, hold on a second. I might be able to switch this game up on the fly. 1. Oh, come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. All right. If you can tell me, if you can get one of 2 words right, can a 7th grader say it? You win 1 each new rub from Dave Bosca Butcher Barbecue. It's that easy. 216-220-0966. Call in. And all you have to do is get 1 of 2 right. So if you get the first one right, you win. That's 4 new rubs, man. Dave, help me out. Cherry rub, Chipotle rub, Dave's Masters Blend. I think I just rebranded it, Dave's Masters Blend. Private Blend, I believe it is. And cherry rub, right? Did I already say cherry? Let's count together. Cherry rub, pecan rub, Masters Blend rub, and Chipotle. I believe that is correct. So if you've wanted to try those out and you've thought about winning some of those for free, now is your chance. You can try your hand at Can a 7th grader say it? I won't ask you to define words like I was going to, although that's going to be a great game, man. I heard that on Howard Stern today, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. Perfect game for the big prizes. Because I don't want you to just call in and get like a free 160-pound brisket or $50 worth of free rub. Yes, savory pecan, wild cherry butcher's private blend, a.k.a. Master's Blend, and smoked chipotle. Delicious. Yours for free. So 216-220-0966 if you want to call in during this segment and try and win these rubs. Private and cherry, a good combo. I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. There was something else I was going to get to. There we go. Let me pull my soundboard down. Don't forget, coming up in the second hour, Ryan Wade from Bulldog Mountain BBQ will be talking about the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Cook-Off. Also, Anella Kelso will be rounding out the show around 10:35 and talk about Snake River Farms Challenge. There's 4 events on the docket right now for them. Also, Double R Ranch Meats. So if you're not familiar, I think after we cover Double R Ranch Meats, depending on if we have the time, that should be a complete cover of Snake River Farms products. I would love to tell you late breaking news, but I can't. I know. It's the worst thing to do, but I'm hoping by the end of this week I will have some news to unveil next Tuesday that is pretty nice, potentially. That if you watch a certain thing, you might see somebody you know without getting too specific. So we'll check it out on that. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this. I've become fat ever since, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we had Jim Berg on from Killer Bees Barbecue. And like a week after he was getting ready to hit the competition trail and try out his first barbecue contest since the whole health debacle transpired. And that was this past weekend. And he competed, and I think they did fairly well from what I was seeing. And, man, I don't know if he overdid it or not, but that son of a gun right back in the hospital. Oh. So, good thoughts to Jim Berg. I know he's probably been released at this point, but, man, he's a fighter, that guy. All right. Let's go to the phone lines and see who we have. Name and where you're calling from.
Hi.
Hello?
My name is Dan, and I'm from Wauchula.
Danny! Hey, Dan. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I'm really excited. I was listening to the show. I was watching it at the same time, and I saw that I have a chance to win some rubs and things.
Yeah, do you want to, are you in the mood to win some rubs, Dan?
I will. I love the rubs. Yeah, sure.
All right, Dan, let's go ahead and play Can a Seventh Grader Say It? Little introduction here. So, it's very easy, Dan. You can win 4 rubs, by the way, from Butcher Barbecue. If you answer 1 out of 2 correct, can a 7th grader say it? Which I will give you a word, and then you're going to have to tell me if a 7th grader can say it. It's just that easy, Dan, all right?
I know how to play it. Let's just do it.
Oh, all right. Well, pardon me. We fade this out, and we'll just get right to it. Apologies. Dan's running the show, everybody. All right, Dan. You know how the game is played, obviously.
I do.
Here's your first word.
Mm-hmm.
Escape. Do you believe that a 7th grader can look at the word and properly say escape? Not to influence you, Dan, but I know a lot of people that say escape, and it drives me up the wall.
Oh. Not okay. So that was like a hint. Okay. No, I think the 7th grader can do it.
All right, so you are going to say yes, so we'll go ahead and lock you in for yes.
Well,
all right, here we go.
We can do it right away, or we can help you kill some time on your show. Whatever.
What? All right, Dan, you're lucky I didn't hang up on you right there, but I need to see if you're a winner. Of course, that's debatable too, but nevertheless, we go to the 7th grader. Show me escape.
Escape.
Hey, there's Dan.
Hey, yay!
Wow, just like that, you are a winner. Wow, Dan, that's spectacular.
This is great. I don't think I've ever won anything on the show before.
Just on the show, Dan? Be honest.
No. No.
Okay.
But I love a wiener.
It's always great to be a wiener, Dan. Yeah. All right, so here's what you do. First of all, we thank Dave Basket from Butcher Barbecue for donating the rubs. And that's first and foremost. And then send me your shipping info, and we'll get those 4 rubs out to you, courtesy. And those rubs are coming courtesy of Dave Basket of Butcher Barbecue, Dan.
I'm so excited. So do I hang on and you're going to have your producer talk to me about my information?
Dan, I don't have a producer, Dan. It's just me. So if you can send me, the producer, an email, greg@thebbqcentralshow.com, then I will make sure that the rubs come right to your hand.
Okay, so can I play again?
Yes, you can play again. Here we go. I can't believe we got it, but we can do it. Here we go. Do you know how the game's played?
What are the rules?
So I'm going to give you a word, and then you tell me if the 7th grader is going to say it correctly or not.
Okay. It's just kind of like the last game. Go ahead.
That's right. Dan, how about this? Almost like that, let's make a deal. How about this? Double or nothing? What do you think? Double or nothing?
Sure.
All right. Double or nothing it is. For 8 bottles of rub or none, depending on how you answer this question.
Okay.
Do you think a 7th grader can say hierarchy? Remember, she's reading the word and having to say it correctly. Hierarchy.
Let me see if I have this right.
Yes.
I won the first ones, and now I'm betting those. And if I get this wrong, I don't get those.
Correct.
And I get sent home.
Yes, unless you're already home, then you're there. You can just hang up.
Okay, let's try it.
Right?
Yep.
Hierarchy. For 8 bottles of rub or nothing, can a 7th grader say, read correctly first and then say correctly hierarchy?
I would say yes.
All right, we'll lock you in for a yes. Wow. It's very exciting, Dan. Are you bursting?
I'm sweating.
Give me hierarchy.
Hierarchy?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no!
Sorry, Dan.
We suck again!
You risked it all for nothing in the end.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Well,
What do you think about that?
oh, I feel very disappointed, but I feel very happy to have been part of the process, and I hope that everyone who's listening to your show tonight doesn't feel too bad about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and that other old guy.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for calling.
Goodbye, Greg.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Oh, my Lord. He was right there. Dave was going to have to bone out 8 bottles of rub. But he didn't. I think in the end, Dave just made out. Dan sounds like he wanted to make out. Nevertheless. All right, folks, if you are like me, you're always thinking of ways to step up the barbecue and grilling game. No better or easier way to do that than by adding a little Butcher Barbecue to your arsenal. That's right, butcherbbq.com. We all know that Butcher's well known for the injections. Pork, beef, prime, the bird boosters, the pork injection. Oh, come on. That's so good. Your meat will be ready and willing to get these injections and marinades. For instance, the Prime injection, they've combined everything you love with their beef injection using its award-winning flavor enhancer and its ability to keep its brisket juicy and moist. They have combined it with what has become the competition standard in beef flavor. This also is available for sale right now at butcherbbq.com. Of course, the grilling oils, And let me say this. I've fielded some questions about, hey, do you really leave it out? Do you have to refrigerate it? No, you don't. Henceforth, the fact that I am going through grilling oil like crazy right now, because it sits right out there on my stove. I remember it, I see it, I use it on everything. And you don't have to worry about refrigerating. Get it out of your mind. Banish the thought. Try it on everything. You're going to love it. Plus, it comes in 3 different flavors: steakhouse, butter, and chipotle as well. Last but not least, the new rubs, the pecan, the private blend, the chipotle, and the cherry. Also, the sweet barbecue sauce. I can only imagine, and I'm going to try it here sooner than later, Butcher's sweet barbecue sauce and the cherry rub. I got to imagine that's going to be one of the best flavor combinations running around my mouth in recent memory. So here's what you do. You don't wait any more seconds, and you head on over to butcherbbq.com, and you stock up. You buy a lot because you're going to love a lot of it, and you're going to don't get buyer's remorse at Butcher Barbecue. Just like buying a cooker, don't get buyer's remorse at Butcher Barbecue. Don't under-order because you're going to want a lot of stuff. butcherbbq.com, that's butcherbbq.com. Helping the tax brackets all over the U.S. via Home Depot. All right, we're back right after this to wrap up a abysmal first hour. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your email address, did you see fit to write into the show? Oh, boy. All right. Just got word from the youngest teacher. Uh-oh. Disciplinary action. Lest anybody think, because, as some people have noted, Dan has called in before for can a 5th grader or can a 7th grader say it? True. That was not a repeat. Because you thought the first call was so good, you might have thought that the second one, this one, was a repeat. That was not a repeat. That was for real. That was even more classic than the last call. And as he says, humble apologies to everybody for having to put up with our current electables for the presidency of the United States. Or as I call it, an express train to hell for everybody. Hop aboard, everybody! He was on an 8-bottle precipice. One of the biggest rub wins and takes on this show in its history ever. He was. And then finally, this is my middle daughter, right? So she, I don't think, has gotten or has mispronounced one word incorrectly yet. Now we still have 5 other words to get through. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we have 5 other words to get through for the $160 brisket that'll be getting ready to go off here after we tighten up the first hour. Again, that's a 14 to 16 pound Snake River Farms brisket. If you play Can a 5th Grader Say It? And this time we're going 3 out of 5. It's a huge prize. No question. That question was not a repeat. No. I am on top of my game. Kinger, come on, dude. You know me. I don't get YouTube money like you do, but I do not repeat. That 7th grader's good. So, we have 5 words lined up that the 7th grader has spoken to me, and we will see shortly if she continues her run, where the strategy is for the players. It's a huge prize, $160 plus the shipping. That's free, and it goes anywhere in the continental United States. If you're Canadian and you're able to bootleg it through something in the Americas, you're welcome to call in as well. You can do it. Not shipping to Canada otherwise, I don't believe. No offense to the Canadas. All of them. No offense. Alberta, Calgary, British Columbia, Ottawa, French Canada. I was talking to French Canadians the other day. Wow. That is something else. All right, we will be right back to get the second hour started. Ryan Wade, Anella Kelso coming up, but first, your chance to win a $160 brisket. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Johnny Dam, host of the Damage Report radio show. When I'm not falling in love with the First Amendment all over again, I like to sit back, relax, and rub my meat to the Barbecue Central show. And now your host, Greg Rempe. Go, Greg. Yeah, rub that meat.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Sean Bono! It's all about the Sean Bono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, welcome back. We are into the second hour, and this is the Barbecue Central show. Keeps calling me. 708. Come on. All right. Second hour is in. I'm happy to have you aboard. This is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. If you want your chance to win a $160 Snake River Farms brisket, call in now. We will get ready and play the game, Can a 7th Grader Say It? Here we go. Joining me from Music City, California, it's Can a 7th Grader Say It? Hey! All right. Welcome in. I'm your host, Greg Rempe, and this is how we play the game. I am going to go to the phone. We do have a caller up on the line, so just hang there. And here's how we play. I'm going to give you words that a 7th grader has read on paper. Now, they have to do something very difficult. They have to read the word in their head and then be able to properly pronounce it out loud. And if you can give me, yes, they can say it, or no, they won't say it correctly, 3 out of 5 times, you will win a Snake River Farms brisket. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. All right, let's go ahead and race to the hotline and snatch up our caller and learn a little bit more about that person. Caller, please go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about you. If you can hear me, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Greg?
Yes?
Patrick?
Hello, sir?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Who is this?
This is Patrick Pocket.
All right. Patrick, we're trying to run a game show here. This is where tell me a little bit about yourself, all this. Come on. What are we doing?
Oh, so this is Patrick from Massachusetts. I'm from
We're past that. All right, let's go. We got to play the game.
I'm ready.
This is very exciting. Do you know how to play?
I do.
All right. You have to answer 3 of 5 questions right to win a $160 brisket from Snake River Farms at snakeriverfarms.com. Right?
I do.
All right. Are you ready to play?
I am ready.
Here we go. The first word, Patrick, is crisps. Can a 7th grader read and then properly pronounce the word crisps? Seems easy. I know.
I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes. All right. We'll lock you in with a yes.
Yes, please.
All right. So now we go to the 7th grader and say, show me crisps.
Crisps.
All right. You didn't fall for it. Very good. Patrick Paquette, 1 for 1, and ready to go to the next one. So far, so good, Patrick, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Word number 2. Exclamation. Can a 7th grader read and then properly pronounce exclamation?
She's a very smart girl, this one. I'm going to say yes.
All right, we'll go with yes again. I think you have a strategy working here that you hope doesn't fail you, which I would probably do something similarly. All right, 7th graders, show me exclamation.
Exclamation.
Oh, boy, look at this guy. Patrick Paquette, 2 for 2.
I am thoroughly excited.
And 1 away from winning the $160 Snake River Farms brisket given to us by Anella Kelso and the good folks over at Snake River Farms, snakeriverfarms.com. And this is where we turn the screws. Can a 7th grader say miscellaneous? Now, we know they can say it, but can they read it properly and say it as they're reading it?
Greg, I got to go with the good genes and say the word yes.
Right. Oh, boy. We're going to go to the 7th grader. For all the marbles, playing the idea that she just really hasn't ever said a word right, a word wrong, show me miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Oh, my Lord. Look at this guy. Patrick Paquette has done it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
He has done it. Look at this guy. Unbelievable. Well, if you've wanted to win brisket, folks, you've come to the right place. Patrick Paquette has done it. $160 Snake River Farms brisket is yours, my friend. It will get shipped right to your door. All you need to do is send me your shipping information, and we will get the ball rolling. Anella Kelso will get that out to you, tracking numbers and all. And we thank the folks at snakeriverfarms.com for their generous donations. Right, Patrick?
Absolutely, Greg. It's the best meat in this country that I can buy. And thank you and Anella and all of our Central Lake friends.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in tonight, Patrick. Have a great night. He ejected, just like the guy was so excited. He's like, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I get it. Look at that guy. I mean, it's not every day that you can listen to it's not every day you can listen to an internet radio show. Or let's just call it an internet show. A radio show gives it such kind of cheapness. It's not every day you can twirl across an internet show and get the opportunity to win a $160 brisket. Wow. All right. Do what? No, I don't have any time. I was going to say we could do a quick another quick barbecue rub thing, but I'm certainly out of time. So, let me save the rack, if you will, and we will load it up for Ryan Wade from Bulldog Mountain BBQ. Learned a little bit about Texas barbecue, about his background, all that fun stuff. Once again, thanks to Patrick Paquette, and congratulations to him for winning the brisket. And thanks again to Snake River Farms, snakeriverfarms.com, for donating that brisket. 14 to 16 pounds. So that, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is going to be a one that you would use in a competition, I would imagine, right? Or perhaps this could be a practice. Whoever gets a practice Wagyu brisket to practice on, right? So maybe you can switch it up. Maybe you can use a practice. Always something you want to learn something on, or have the true product to learn on. Here, free. You can do whatever you want. You can grind it up, make hamburger with it. Show me what you're going to do with it, though. So anyway, send me your shipping info, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. I will get that down to Anella and the good folks over at Snake River Farms, and you will have that in your hot little hands sooner than later. And, of course, she will be giving you all of the shipping details. At this point, I'm out of it, all right? I'm out.
Get that freak stuff out of here.
See those side lights light up my arm? That was kooky. All right. Let me tell you about Big Poppa Smokers, folks. The one-stop online shop for anyone interested in barbecue, the number one dealer of Mac pellet grills in the world. Big Poppa Smokers features a wide selection of American-made grills and smokers, such as the Old Hickory Ace BP, Gateway Drum Smoker, even a drum kit that gives you everything you need to make a world-class smoker out of a 55-gallon drum. Big Poppa Smokers has also made a name for itself in recent years by crafting an award-winning line of championship rubs. From flavors like Sweet Money to Happy Ending, their rubs have had a hand in winning almost every major barbecue competition. Don't think that BPS can be pigeonholed in competitive barbecue either. BPS rubs have become so well known that they've been picked up by a nationwide restaurant chain, BJ's Restaurant Brewhouse. With 4 of the 9 rubs featured on their permanent menu and amid glowing reviews, BPS rubs are a proven and great addition to anyone's pantry. Big Poppa's also banded together with fellow California-based rub company Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form what has now become known as the West Coast Offense. Defying conventional wisdom, these 2 California-based rub makers have cornered the market on competitive barbecue and begun to redefine the flavor profile that competitive cooks from across the country have begun to aim for. Big Poppa's website features an online meat locker with top-quality meats such as Snake River Farms, shipped right to your door. From the American Kobe beef, the Kurabuta pork, the Double R Ranch meats, Big Poppa's Meat Locker has something for every type of barbecue aficionado. And committed to bringing you the best barbecue flavors on the market. Who knows what kind of great products they're going to be rolling out in that regard this year. Big Poppa's also created a unique brand ambassador program called the BPS Elite Team. It features 15 of the best competition cooks in the country working together to promote camaraderie, competition barbecue, and to benefit children's charities across the U.S. Keep in mind, the Big Poppa Smokers has been able to do all of this with only 5 years of being in the business, turning competition barbecue on its head, providing customers with the very best barbecue products, become a staple of a nationwide restaurant chain, and benefiting children's charities across the U.S. It continues to be just the beginning for Big Poppa Smokers. The website, bigpoppasmokers.com. That's bigpoppasmokers.com. All right, we're coming back with the winner of the Houston Livestock and Rodeo right after this. Your phone calls, your emails as well, 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. We're back right after this. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Networks.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. A few weeks ago, one of the biggest barbecue competitions in the course of a year went down. And joining me now is the guy that took grand champion, pitmaster of Bulldog Mountain BBQ, Ryan Wade, joining me here on the show. Ryan, how are you, buddy?
How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous, Ryan. Appreciate you joining me this evening, and looking forward to doing a little recap of the Houston Livestock and Rodeo win. I guess before we get into that, maybe a little background on yourself, personally, professionally, and then we can talk about the competition barbecue stuff.
No problem.
So, like, what are you up to professionally? What are you into?
Bulldog Mountain's been cooking for 31 years. I've been cooking with Mike Wells for 15 years. Pretty much stay here in the Houston surrounding areas. Make a trip every once in a while to a distant cook-off, but try to stay in our home turf.
Are you somebody that does competitive cooking for a living, or are you like most of us that have like a day job and then competition barbecue is just kind of a something you like to do?
We've all got day jobs, and it's take a Friday off here or there, take a whole week off for the Houston Rodeo, but we just try to pick ones that are close enough for us to leave out on Friday afternoon and be back home in our own beds by Sunday.
So how are you actually introduced to competition barbecue? I mean, now that you're in it and you have friends that are in it, it seems like everybody should know about it, but I imagine when you got started, it probably wasn't as popular and as prevalent as you see it on TV and a number of other outlets. Now, who's somebody that kind of pulled you into this whole deal? How'd you find out about it?
Well, growing up, my father took us around to cook-off just to go visit his friends that were cooking, and he was being entertained by his clients. And then as I went through college and came through college, I started cooking with my father-in-law, and it just stemmed from there. Try to do 7 to 10 a year, and it just kind of grows on you.
Ryan, are you outside in a windstorm or something?
Yeah, there's a storm that just blew through Houston, and I had to step outside the building.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds you're safe though, right?
Yeah, we're safe. It was lightning earlier. It's not lightning anymore.
Good. Well, I'm glad the show could bring the good weather karma down to you there in Houston. So talk to me a little bit about the Houston Livestock and Rodeo event, just kind of from a high-level thing. We'll drill down a little bit more into the barbecue here in a minute, but, what's the whole event like? You said you took the whole week off for it, so what other things are you doing?
You just broke up. I couldn't hear your question.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, from a high-level sense, tell me a little bit about the Houston Livestock and Rodeo. You said you take the whole week off, so what are you doing during the course of the week just besides the barbecue competition?
The Houston Rodeo is a big party is what it is, but there's 424 teams out here, and all that gives you a piece of concrete. So you've got to set up tents, you got to set up a front booth. We have to hire private security. Pretty much have to serve your invited guests. It's not open to the public. per se to come into each and every tent. Each and every tent's invite only. But it takes that long to prep, get all the pits, the motorhome, the serving tables, our bar, DJ booth. It's 3 days of entertaining customers, clients, friends, and really 2 full days of competition.
Is the entertaining, or most of the people in there like companies from around Houston, or are they strictly like food related type things, or what?
No, it's they're donors, sponsors. They're entertaining their clients. We're my company. I use it to entertain some of my customers and clients, and you give out some wristbands, you give out some, invite them in to come taste your barbecue, and we hire a DJ and have a dance floor and just use it for entertainment purposes.
And this is going on in your booth or your tent or whatever, and then it's going on, similar things are going on all the way through the whole property area.
Yes, sir. The whole parking lot of NRG Stadium.
So, I mean, is it easy to spill from one party to the next, or they have that pretty locked down?
Everything is gated off, fenced off, tarped off.
Wow.
Private security at the entrance to every gate and the exit to every gate. You got to be on somebody's guest list or be invited to be in somebody's tent to be inside one.
So is it a bigger deal to be at the party for Houston Livestock and Rodeo, or is it a bigger deal to be there for the barbecue?
There are teams that'll tell you both. We're there for the barbecue. So, we have three spots. It's all really one big tent, but our back spot is our cooking spot. And what we tell everybody is that the front 2 spots, if you want to go party and have a good time, are up there, and we're back here barbecuing.
One of the unique things that I kind of picked up, and I've interviewed the winner of the Houston Livestock and Rodeo here over the last 3 or 4 years on this show, but this is the first time when I was talking to Doug Scheiding from Row Cookers last week about it. He said, well, to get an entry, you need, I forget what he said, like a 40 by 40 space. So that one area gets you one entry, and you got to choose between chicken and brisket and ribs. But depending on what kind of pockets you got or what kind of sponsorship you have behind you, maybe you can get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 spots worth, which gets you 6 spots. So you don't, for as many teams as you have, you might have, your team has 3 entries and my little team has 1 entry, and somebody else bigger than us might have 8 entries. That's the kind of situation that it is, right?
Well, they cap it off. Teams can only have 4 entries. They can have more than 4 spots. They can only enter 4 times. We've had our 3 spots for 20 plus years. Houston's not a cook-off that you could just come buy into. There's a waiting list. There's really doesn't matter how much money you have. It's just where you're at in the waiting list. But we have our 3 spots and won't give up any of our spots. And we honestly don't want another spot. We're content with having 3 spots.
Is that something that can be
to the size of the parking lot? So they really can't expand unless they were to move into another parking lot of NRG.
Is spot availability like even bequeathed from people that pass away down to their survivors?
Each spot has a owner. So being the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, everything goes through legal department, but each team has to have an owner. So the owner is responsible for paying the yearly entry, paying the insurance, pre-ordering everything you have to order through the rodeo. But there's an owner of the team, and how that trickles down if he was to pass away, I'm not sure.
So give me an idea for 3 spots, like what kind of operating expense is it just to make sure that you can show up every year?
I would roughly tell somebody it costs about $10,000 per space.
Per space?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so you're in like 30 G's before the party gets started.
I'd say that's a good number.
Oofa. And then I can only imagine the party that you're throwing. So that's a pretty expensive weekend if you're just looking at it from a dollars and cents standpoint, right?
Yeah, and you can come in and you can cook. If you had a spot and were not to entertain anybody, not to buy any beer, not to buy any liquor, not hire a DJ, not any of that, you could do it. You couldn't do it as inexpensive. You could do just a regular cook-off in a hayfield somewhere, but you could get away with doing it fairly inexpensively.
So what year of Houston Livestock Barbecue Cook-Off is this for you personally?
This was my 15th year.
Wow.
As a cook. I've been coming for 25 plus years.
So you're
either as a guest or a friend or invited to somebody's tent.
So you're a well-seasoned cook at this event. Is there anything from all the other competitions that you do during the course of the year? How does this one differ from all the other ones that you're doing? Or does it?
It's a logistical challenge. Cooking wise, it's the same thing as any other cook-off you do. We do the same thing, cook the same way. We don't change a thing we do for Houston, other than the fact that it's magnified by 1,000. You still have turn-in times. You still have they tag meat for this cook-off. We have to have our meat tagged. We have a contested supervisor that comes through all weekend long, and he's responsible for our team. So he's always checking on us. He's always making sure we're doing okay. But competition-wise, it is spot on, the same as any other cook-off.
Ryan Wade joining me here on the show, pitmaster Bulldog Mountain BBQ, winner of the Houston Livestock and Rodeo 2016 here a couple weeks ago. So do you guys make a decision every year that you're going to cook the same meats? Do you always vary it up? I know when I was talking with Doug, he said that statistically speaking, chicken is probably the best one odds-wise to actually get over the hump and win, because a lot of people turn in brisket, a lot of people turn in ribs. You have the option of turning in 3 chickens, I guess, which would give you even a bigger potential advantage on that side. But how do you guys attack the categories?
Our thought process is if you're cooking 2 of the same meats, you're competing against yourself. So we have 3 spots, and we turn in all 3 meats. We turn in 1 chicken, 1 rib, and one brisket. That's just how we've done it. It's how we'll always do it. But this year, for example, I believe you had 194 teams turned in brisket. You had 194 teams turned in ribs, 140-something teams turned in brisket, and I think 86 teams turned in chicken.
So, I understand.
Each meat is scored individually on a 100-point scale, and and the preliminaries are compared to each other: chicken versus chicken, rib versus rib, brisket versus brisket. And the final table, the top 24, broke down the same way.
Do you guys final in all the meats?
First year, we believe we're the first team that's ever put 3 teams on the finals. We finaled in brisket, ribs, and chicken this year.
So a good shot at potentially winning, depending on how everything else shook out and scored out. What kind of cookers do you guys use for competition?
What kind of barbecue pit?
That's right.
We cook on a David Close.
Oh, a close cooker. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while. Have you guys been using that right along, or you graduate into that pit, or what?
Mike Wells won a cook-off here in Houston 30-plus years ago. Turned around that next week, went and bought a David Close pit, and we've cooked on a Close pit ever since.
Wow.
I personally had one made here about 8 years ago with a teammate, Brad Grassley.
So, in regards to the meat prep, you do one of each, as you said. Do you guys do half chickens, or do you get a little cutesy with it? What's your preference?
In Texas, you turn in a half a bird. We don't do thighs. We don't do wings. We don't do drumsticks. In Texas, we cook a bird. We turn in half a bird.
I guess in general, and I'm sure it varies from chicken to ribs to brisket, but how do you find the flavor profile down there, or where do you feel the flavor profile needs to be in order to score well?
You've got to have that. You've got to have that one bite, that one pop. Get that judge's attention. I think you've got to have a little bit of salt, pepper. You got to have a little bit of sweet in there, and get that judge's attention.
Is this the first time you guys have come out grand champion on this one?
Yes, we were reserve champion in 1999, and we've been on the we've been in the top 24 12 of the last 14 years.
So when you're announced as overall champ, having been so close, a number of years back and being kind of in contention there right along, what's it like to finally get over the hump and bust through?
We just plugged on. We haven't changed our recipes in 15 years. We do what we do. We spend a lot of time perfecting it, a lot of time at home cooking it, and spend a lot of time loving our meat. This year, it was our turn.
And you'll be back next year to defend it, I'm sure.
We'll be back. We'll be in Champions Corner next year.
There you go. We're talking with Ryan Wade, Bulldog Mountain BBQ, winner of the 2016 Houston Livestock and Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off. Ryan, really appreciate the recap, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on tonight, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, you got it. Hello? Hello? Ay, Dios mío. Well, folks, it's just one of those days, everybody.
Get that freak stuff out of here.
Hey!
Hello? Greg, this is your mother. Look here. I don't... Is that... I'm listening here with your father. Who's on the phone? It's Greg, dear. Who? It's Greg, your son. He does the show, that silly show from the basement. This is what he's doing at Tuesday nights. You wonder, he's doing it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the show. Yeah. Anyway, is he sitting in a wind tunnel? Is he calling in from behind a jet plane, son? What is... Maybe you should give people rules when they call the show and say no sitting behind airplane jet engines or no calling from wind tunnels or the rotor from the amusement park that makes you stick to the wall. Is that what he sounds like? You couldn't understand him, could you? What? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Greg. Who? Yes. Just go over into your chair and sit down. Okay. Anyway, honey, write these people directions and tell them no calling from jet engines. Thank you.
If my mom's calling in, she probably can't even understand. Look, safety first, right? We don't want to get anybody struck by lightning, as he said. So, that's good. But it's rare that I dump out of an interview early. But, there's not any 1 second more that was going to extend. If I'm having trouble with it, I know you guys are brutalizing with it, and you're just not saying anything. You're being nice. So maybe we can get Ryan Wade in a less windy scenario or when he's home next time or whatever. Thanks, however, to Ryan for coming on. Bulldog Mountain BBQ, the winner of the 2016 Houston Livestock and Rodeo. And 3 spots. I forget who he said owns those. But those are like hot tickets. As he said, you can't roll up into Houston and compete that weekend if your heart desires. No. You got to be in the Cool Kids Club card deal to get into that bad boy. All right, let's get out early so we can figure out how much or of a disaster Snake River Farms is going to be. It could only follow suit here tonight, folks. This one might not even make it to podcast. It's like it never happened. This could be the one where you had to tune in live because it never made it to podcast air. Cookshack manufactures smoker ovens for barbecue lovers with any amount of experience. Whether you barbecue in the backyard or on the competition circuit or in 5-star dining facilities, Cookshack has the unit that will do the job. And with a full line of barbecue sauces, spices, pellets, and wood chunks, it's the perfect one-stop shop. Cookshack strives to be your barbecue resource center by offering cooking classes, online recipes, how-to videos, 2 blogs, smoking, grilling 101s, and a video cooking classroom. Check out their website, cookshack.com, or follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, or Google+. Get the advice, share your passion for barbecue on their world-class barbecue forum. Cookshack pellet-fired smokers are the choice of champs because they are winning and they are engineered by a champion, Ed Fast Eddie Martin. The FEC 100 and PG 1000 are always customer favorites. The PG 1000 can double as a smoker or a grill. Low and slow or hot and fast, the pellet grill line gives you the most for your money. Cookshack residential electric smokers are #1 in the industry. High quality means high durability and versatility. Anything you cook in an oven, you can make in a Cookshack. Passion and dedication drives Cookshack's manufacturing, with quality always at the forefront. Get the best in barbecue since 1962 or call 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698. And again, visit the website cookshack.com. That's cookshack.com. And visit all of their different social media interests. Again, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, or they still have that barbecue forum, which has been going like for decades, I believe. Does Smoke and Okie still run the Cookshack barbecue forum? Smoke and Okie? Smoke and Okie legend. Shout out, Smoke and Okie. All right, well, the FEMA worker in me says abort the rest of the show and head for the hills. The passionate barbecue enthusiast says Anella Kelso will be up right after this break. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is brought to you by me and the BBQ Round Up. That's right. The BBQ Round Up Episode 3 will be out this Thursday at noon Eastern. You can subscribe to the BBQ Round Up by subscribing to the podcast. If you don't subscribe to the podcast, you can do that through iTunes or a number of other podcast feed catchers. Just enter in the feed and it'll populate. Or you can just hit up my website at noon on Thursday, and you can get the latest edition of the BBQ Roundup. Oh, it's fun and fantastic and pre-recorded, and I sound spectacular on it, if I do say so myself. All right, so we'll go ahead and race over to the hotline and welcome back, I say, the maven of Snake River Farms. She might say different. Anella Kelso joins us here. Anella, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Look, I'm sure you haven't been listening to 1 second of the show, but I can tell you this. It has been a technical disaster. Wow. So you're here to save the day.
I heard the last segment.
Oh, my Lord. I mean, the guy was out in a I think he was at 30,000 feet, and he would just stepped outside to make the call. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. Nevertheless,
well,
you will redeem
we'll
the show.
Better.
That's right. You'll redeem the show for us, and I appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about something, I guess it's new for you guys this year, the Snake River Farms Challenge. That's new, right? That's something new this year?
No, we've done it for 2 years.
Okay, yeah. So good for me.
The first year we only did one event. out in California. And then last year we did California, and then we also did the Colorado Rockies Invitational. And now this year we're expanding to 5 events.
Initially, who conceptualized, like, what was the idea on bringing Snake River Farms Challenge to events?
So we always get asked for sponsorships. We get a lot of calls, a lot of emails. We sponsor teams, and we kind of made the conscious decision to not sponsor teams, but to sponsor events and to sponsor education and classes. And you guys, I mean, you see a lot of that. I mean, we work with a lot of different teams who do classes, and we decided that we wanted to make it worthwhile for teams to use our product at events and kind of get our product in the hands that weren't always cooking them. And so I had a promoter call me and say, hey, do you guys want to sponsor our event? And we're like, how about we kind of do this special challenge? And so it's essentially you cook our briskets, you win bigger prizes. And so we throw down $1,000 extra, and we work with Gateway Drum Smokers to do custom SRF Gateway drums. It's the only way you can get one of the SRF drums is to win it at a challenge. We worked with Yeti a little bit last year to also throw in some Yetis. And so this year we'd always done it before that, like, if the grand champion won, we gave the grand champion the bigger prizes. And we got a lot of feedback from teams last year that they really felt like it should be the brisket winner who wins the extra. And so this year we've got 4 events locked down. We're looking for a 5th one on the East Coast. So if anybody's interested, shoot me a message and let me know. It's essentially cook our product. You register for free, and you get that information through the promoter and on our website. And we do also post on the Brethren and stuff. And you cook SRF. If you win brisket, you get an extra $1,000 this year. We're kind of changing it a little bit. You get your choice between $1,000 cash or $1,500 store credit, and a brand new Gateway drum.
So so if I cook one of these 4 and I win, then I have a 1 in 4 chance of being the ultimate winner, because if I'm understanding correct, then those 4s out of the highest score would win out of those 4?
No, so we have 4 different events. And if you win brisket at that event,
yes,
you win the extra money and you win the drum smoker.
So you have 4 separate winners.
We have 4 separate winners.
Wow, look at you. Wow, very generous.
Yeah. Yeah, and we, like I said, we started in California, and then we kind of moved, California, Colorado, and I personally kind of got a lot of grief. They're like, get out of the West Coast. So we're kind of expanding, and really what it comes down to is the promoters call me, and they're like, hey, we'd love to have you come out. We'd love to have you be part of this. And so I can tell you the 4 we've got right now. We've got Robert's Ranch Smoking Red Dirt Barbecue, April 15th and 16th in Enid, Oklahoma. We've got Masters in May, in April 30th through May 1st. That's the doubleheader up in Appleton, Wisconsin.
It's Tim Shop's deal.
We're going back. Yeah. We've got, we're actually going to do both of his, but we've got, between those, we've got the Horsetown Brew and Q, which is in Norco, California, June 3rd and 4th. And then we're going back to Green Bay for the Gold Ribbon Barbecue Fest, July 8th and 10th. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still looking for an East Coast, something much more East Coast.
Do you find, or have the promoters said that once you have installed this Snake River Farms Challenge, they've seen an uptick in teams trying to sign up for these particular events?
Yes and no. I mean, we definitely have teams who, we really have a really good turnout of teams who actually cook our stuff. And it's not always teams who always, I mean, we have a very, obviously we have a very good following of folks who are always cooking our stuff. In Colorado, I believe there were 80 teams last year. I think we had 68 out of 80 teams. And then that was in California. And then at the Colorado Rockies, out of 35 teams, we had 32 out of 35 teams cooking our stuff.
And the other guys are just bringing whatever they bring, and they just decide not to cook it. Wow.
And then if you win, I mean, we actually were kind of faced with that problem in Colorado last year. The team that won the whole thing didn't use our brisket. And I was like, oh, Lord, what am I going to do? I got this big old check, and I got this drum smoker. And so it actually goes to the top performing team using SRF.
Wow. So even if you don't win, you still win.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Do you remember what the team that won was using to cook their brisket with?
I don't. I remember talking to him, though, and giving him grief. And I said, if you're familiar with the Colorado Rockies Invitational, it's a big money competition.
Oh, yeah.
And he had never cooked SRS before. He had never cooked Wagyu at all before. And he said, he goes, it was just too much money for me to risk it on something I had never cooked. And I totally get that and felt that. And then, we sold him one later to try. So it worked out well for everybody.
So do you have them available for sale at the event, or do you have to purchase in advance and bring your meat to the specific contest?
You do everything in advance. So we have a website. We send out all the information to the teams via the promoter, and you just go out and you register. Or I cruise around on Thursday and Friday night, and come and check and see and make sure that is what you're cooking. We take a lot of pictures. We use it, for a social media tool. Any event that I've ever gone to, I think a lot of the teams, I try to get out and see all the teams. With the exception of the Royal and stuff like that, where there's just so many teams. But even there, I see a lot of teams. And, I try to make sure that I talk to every single team and see what you guys are doing. And, I always show up after brisket turn-ins and try brisket. And so we really try to just step up our customer service game and just make sure that the teams know that, we know that you guys are busting ass out there every week. And we're just there to support you doing it.
Anella Kelso joining me here on the show. The website, snakeriverfarms.com. If you want to visit it, if you haven't visited yet, check it out here while we're chatting it up a little bit here over the next couple minutes. So that's great. Snake River Farms Challenge is in for lockdown, looking for a fifth one on the East Coast. So again, if you have some insight or you would like to enter in your East Coast contest for consideration, go ahead and get a hold of Anella. Is there an email address that they could do that, or they just contact you through the website?
Either or. You can contact us through the website. You can also, it's just Anella, ANNELLA, snakeriverfarms.com.
Easy enough. So again, if you have a contest that you're thinking about or that you're throwing, go ahead and give her a call and shoot an email and see what you guys can hook up. So that's great. One of the other events that you've sponsored here a couple weeks ago was the guinea pig contest that's put on by Sterling Ball, and it's a kind of a move to a cost-controlled type of a competition and kind of bringing it back to the family a little bit. I know that's part of a vision of Sterling Balls, aside from kind of growing them across the country, if it makes sense. And you guys donated all of the meat, the briskets, for that portion. Is that an easy thing for you guys to get on board with? Is there some sell job that Sterling has to make with you guys in order to partner there?
There's a lot of conversations that go on. This is the second year we've done the guinea pig, and the first year we did Double R Ranch briskets. This year we were fortunate enough to be able to do Snake River Farms briskets, and then we also do Snake River Farms for King of the Smoker. But guinea pig, last year I wasn't able to go. This year I was able to attend, and I have to tell you, it is unlike any contest you've ever been to. The atmosphere is super cool, and everybody just seems, more relaxed. But the competition, the competition level is still super high, and it's there. But it's pretty cool to see these coolers get open, and you've got these gorgeous briskets and this gorgeous pork and chicken, and we did a hot dog to provide those, and we did a big hot dog roast on Friday night. We did. He had all the teams. They put out a note to all the teams to bring chili, and so everybody brought all these different chilies and desserts, and we had a great kids queue. We did the kids queue as well, which was my favorite part of all of it, to watch these kids get so excited about cooking. And so it's something that I think anyone who's ever been and been a part of it would agree that there's definitely a piece of the future in barbecue there. It's a great contest.
Anella Kelso joining me here on the show from Snake River Farms. So when you partner with an event like this, from a business perspective, internally from Snake River Farms, like what's the win? Just to get the name out there, or are you banking on a certain amount of residual or future sales? That's, a pretty substantial amount of meat to go ahead and sponsor with.
I think ultimately I think it's just the heartbeat of barbecue. I think that it's giving back to to that sport that gives so much to us, and really just to be able to be a part of the families and to be a part of the event. This was my first time ever staying on site at an event, and so that was fun for me and a little bit different, because Saturday morning I was like, well, guess my customers are going to see me in my pajamas. But it was cool to have that piece of it, because you don't see a lot of vendors who do that, and so we really try to immerse ourselves into these events and into this culture and become a part of it, and on the other side of that, provide a really great product that teams want to use.
I don't have time to go over Double R Ranch meats. That was going to be it. But that's the only thing left we have to do, so we're going to have to save it for another time. But is there anything special-wise or anything going on at the SnakeRiverFarms.com website that everybody needs to go check out here before we chat it up again here in the next couple of weeks?
I'm just saying you might want to watch out around tax day. We always got some cool deals at tax day. And we've got some really cool mystery gift stuff coming up that we're going to be doing. So if you're not signed up for our emails, definitely do sign up for our emails. I know it's a lot of spam, but they really actually do. Like, I write them every week. They actually do come from me. If you reply, they actually come back. So, sign up and give us a shout. Let us know what's going on and what you guys are looking for.
By the way, Nella, Patrick Paquette from the Basic Barbecue team won the 16 to 14-pound brisket that you had donated, so he appreciates that. Awesome. By the way, you can't get more East Coast than Patrick Paquette and the Basic Barbecue team, so they might actually have a line on that East Coast competition you might be looking for, so he's a pretty good resource there. So I will get you his info.
Me and Patrick, we go way back.
Yeah,
we go way back.
He's so excited. He's sitting there in the chat room. He's gloating in front of everybody, or however you can gloat on a chat board. That's what he's doing. So he's very excited, and I appreciate the donation once again. And again, SnakeRiverFarms.com is the website. And next time it's Double R Ranch meets Double or Nothing.
Done. We can do it.
All right, Nella, thanks so much for coming on.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Greg.
There she is, Nella Kelso, the maven of Snake River Farms. And again, the website, SnakeRiverFarms.com. Folks, I don't know if what just happened, but we just pulled off a superior interview segment. 0 issues. And my interview skills were sharp as a wit. I don't even know what that means. Oh, right, yeah. Just because Patrick lives in New England doesn't mean he's the only one on the East Coast. There's a whole thing that goes down. So, if you want to help her out, SnakeRiverFarms.com, or I believe she said it was Nella at SnakeRiverFarms.com. That's right, Patrick. Haters gonna hate. Shake it off. Shake it off. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I did that. All right, we will step away, come back, wrap up the show, and get us to bed ASAFP. Still got a couple minutes left, so if you want to weigh in on anything on the show, or if you want to call in over the next few seconds and try your hand at Can a 7th grader say it? 1 out of 2 for free Dave Bosca rub, Butcher Barbecue. You can do that too. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back to 16220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your bits of contact info if you want to jump in. 216-220-0966. Also, if you want to jump in here at the last waning minutes of the show and give a try for Dave Bosca's. You get 4 rubs. All 4, not one of the 4. You get all 4 rubs. Dan in Wauchula was almost there for 8 bottles of rub, but he pissed it all away on Hierarchy. It happens. Thanks again to Anella Kelso for joining me. SnakeRiverFarms.com. That's SnakeRiverFarms.com. And again, thanks for donating that 14 to 16 pound brisket that Patrick Paquette won. That retails for $160. So a nice chunk of savings. By the way, I don't know where anybody else lives, right? But I'm going to go and look, I never put Cleveland up against anybody, right? I am going to put my weather today up over everybody else's. 78 degrees on March 8th. 78 degrees on March 8th in Cleveland, Ohio. I win. I've won the weather lottery. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Who's calling?
It's Matt from Florida.
All right, Matt from Florida. Are you calling in to play?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
All right. You know how to play?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll forego the intro since we're running out of time. All right, Matt. It all comes down to this question. Maybe, if you get it right out of the box. This is for Dave Bosca's new rubs, a cherry rub, a chipotle rub, a special private double secret rub, and pecan, or pecan, or however the fuck you say it. Can a 7th grader say the word thistle? T-H. Thistle. Tricky E, tricky T-H. Not a word you see a lot. However, it's my knowledge that this 7th grader has only missed one word. This one seems
I'm gonna give credit. I'm gonna give credit to your breeding there, Greg. I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, you're gonna give credit to my breeding. Oh boy. All right, he says yes. Lock him in. 4 rubs from Dave Bosca's Butcher Barbecue at butcherbbq.com. Show me thistle.
Thistle.
Wow, look at you. Everybody's winning tonight, everybody. Yes, sir. 4 rubs are heading Matt's way in Florida. Pecan, cherry, private reserve, double blend, triple distilled for your pleasure, and pecan. What do you think, Matt?
I really appreciate that, man. The Butcher stuff is on point.
I know, man. It's so good. Well, I can't believe that we picked up 2 out of 3 winners tonight. I don't know. You're from Florida. Is there some place really called Wauchula?
Yeah, I'm not going to get involved in that story.
Okay, well, there you go. I just don't, like he says Dan from Wauchula, but I don't even know if there's really a Wauchula, Florida, or if I'm just getting played. But if there's really a Wauchula.
The hot Wauchula story, I'm not getting involved in that one.
All right, very good. All right, Matt, send me your shipping info. I'll get that off to Dave.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. That's Matt from Florida, who is not touching, as he said. I'm not touching Dan from Wauchula. All right, fair enough. I understand. He's an acquired taste, I guess. Is that what you call it? Acquired taste? Unfortunately, Patrick, not only has the code been broken, all of her words have now been exhausted. So we got to go back to the 9th grader. Whist sounds right. Whist? All right, all the way back in the first hour, we had Meathead Goldwyn join me for a segment live on remote at the National BBQ Association. He was actually at a restaurant called Moxie's Kitchen. On its head, the concept was good. The planning was bad. The execution was poor. Nevertheless, then we played Can a 7th Grader Say It with Dan from Wauchula to win Dave Bosca's Butcher Barbecue Rubs. He had 8 bottles in his hand, and then he pissed it all away. In the second hour, we talked with Ryan Wade from Bulldog Mountain BBQ, the winner of the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off a couple weeks ago. Struggling through wind. We dumped out a little bit early, but nevertheless, appreciate the time. And we ended it in spectacular fashion with Anella Kelso from SnakeRiverFarms.com. That's SnakeRiverFarms.com. And thanks again for donating the 14 to 16 pound brisket that retails $160. Patrick Paquette wins that one. Enjoy it, P. And Wendy. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. And before I say it, September 11th, 2001, I will never forget. Good night now.